This conference will now be
from where
recorded.
to start, right? That is very important to know. Even in our interviews also, they'll ask you, when you are freshly starting with an implementation project, what are the things you do? That is the common question everywhere when you are attending any fusion interviews. So what to do? What is the first thing to do? Okay, so for that, let me open my note. I have prepared one. Yeah. So if you see here, first we have to create an implementation user. Who is an implementation user and who is an actual user? We have to know that one, right? So the implementation users are the consultants like us who is going to implement the application for the client, right? Any doubt, Ganesh?
No, no.
No, right? So we are not the actual users. We are the implementation users. All the functional consultants, technical consultants, project managers, PMOs, like we are all implementation users, right? Then who will create all these users? Someone from the project team. Usually, uh, from my side, financial guys used to create all the implementation users, right? I mean, if we have enough bandwidth, sometimes PMO will ask some other guys, to create all the implementation users. So, as you are like almost under 5 years experience, so maybe you will get a chance to create implementation users, okay, as well as the actual users, because in order to test the application, even we should create an login for the users as well, right? Along with the implementation users. So we have to create implementation users as well as actual users, okay? And we'll see how to create users. So here, while creating the users, there is no difference between the implementation user and actual user. User is user, right? But whatever the users that are created for us, there are, we call them as implementation users. That's it, okay? And all the implementation users will have, most probably all the possible access, because we are the one who is going to configure the application, right? And also is going to test the application before the actual user does. So usually we will be having all the accesses, like along with like projects will be all having access to GL, payable, something, just like how you are accessing your responsibilities, all the responsibilities in your a business suite, right? So, but coming to the actual users, we will restrict the access to the users based upon their role. For example, if for the user who is going to capture the cost and deal with the cost and create accounting, right? We will call him as a project accountant, right? He's an accountant. So first, for that user, we'll just give minimum roles in order to access those particular pages in order to carry out his daily activity jobs, and also in order to test the application, right? So that is the only difference between the implementation user and the actual users. For actual users, we won't give all the accesses to him, remember, okay? And we'll see in detail how to create the users. So overall, what is the thing we have to do here? We have to create users, whether it is an implementation user or actual user. User is user, right? So we have to create users. And then uh, even I mean the like username and password, even in a e-business suite, like you'll be having username password, right? So using that, you will use to log in. But once you log in, your access to the to the specific areas depending upon your responsibilities assigned to your user in your e-business suite, right? But when it comes to the fusion, We don't have any more responsibilities. Instead, we are having roles, which is a very appropriate name, right? The role we played. What are the roles we have to have in order to carry out our jobs, right? So we have to assign roles to the users instead of responsibilities, right? Here we are going to assign roles to the users. Okay. Once after creating the users, we have to create the roles. So that is my second step. Assign the appropriate roles to the users. So before going to the assigning roles to the user, first we should know, right, what are the roles that are available for, I mean, within the project financial management, right? That is very important. Or else, what are the roles which comes under PPM? So knowing all these roles are very, very, very important for you. Okay, and you have to mug up all these role names, and in like maybe after 5 days or 10 days you'll get used to this all these roles, so you won't again no need to mug up these roles. You'll get used to all, used to all these roles, so don't worry about that. So first we'll see what is in project accountant role, right? And using this role, what is the user going to do? That is important, right? So when we assign a project accountant role to an user, then he can able to carry out all cost related activities. What are the cost related activities? Anybody? Irrespective of whether it is e-business suite or fusion. What are the cost related activities we do?
Expenditure types.
Sorry?
Expenditures what we book related to the project.
Okay, we'll book the expenditures next.
Expenditure types.
Expenditure types, that's a configuration. That's not an activity. I'm talking about transactional activities.
Distribute labor cost, usage cost, miscellaneous
That's
cost.
all. That's all comes under capturing cost or booking in cost. What
Yeah.
else? We'll book the cost. We'll review the cost, right?
Integration.
Requisition.
Huh?
Integration.
Requisition.
No, I mean within the costing area, what are the things daily we do? We'll create accounting on the booked cost, right? And we'll
Yeah.
do adjustments, right?
Mm.
Burdening. Anna.
Burdening, allocations, right, guys? So these are all the activities what we do under casting area or under casting, right? So all these activities, can be carried out when a user is having access to the project accountant. Okay, got it? So if you want
Yeah.
to carry out cost related activities, capturing cost, reviewing the cost, accounting the cost, creating burden cost, and also allocations, everything. So if you want to capture, I mean, if you want to carry out all these activities, you should have a role called project accountant. Along with this, it will also give access to revenue area, where you can able to generate revenue and also create accounting on the revenue distributions as well, right? So the activities on my right hand side, right? So these are all the common activities what we do even in e-business suite. Remember, nothing comes into a new here. But only the thing is, what is the appropriate or what is the role that gives the appropriate access? That is what you are very new to this, right? So you have to just understand which role will give access to what, because you already know what is the cost, how to capture cost, right? How to create accounting, all these things. But which role will give you that access? That is very important. You know how to generate revenue and you know how to generate invoice, right? But what is the role that will give you access in order to do that? That is very important, right, guys?
Yeah. No.
Only I can hear response from Abhilash, and in this session, almost 13 to 40 members are there. What about the rest? Arjun,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sahiti, Sahiti,
Yes, sir.
are you with me?
Yes, yes, I'm.
Okay. What about the rest? Ravi, Rakesh, Lokesh. See, daily I'm getting response from only Abhilash. Make it just an interactive session so that whether it is right or wrong, say yes or no, something that's it, right? Nothing will happen.
Definitely.
Okay, fine. So that is about project accountant role, right? Next we'll go to the project manager role. So this role will give you access to all the project related dashboards. And who is the person who have this role? I mean, we can tell by then, by looking at the role itself. Project manager, right? So if someone is going to like managing the projects or handling the projects or owns the projects, right, we have to assign this role to that particular user so that he can able to access the projects where he's acting as a manager, as well as he can also access dashboards. We'll see what is a dashboard, right? It's dashboard, it's like it's a area where we can see the a group of collective information. For example, if you open any net banking, right? I think most of you are having bank account, right, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yeah,
when you just log into your net banking, what can you see immediately? On your left hand side, you can see all the related options. On your right hand side, you can see what is your balance, what are your liabilities, what is your like what is the existing balance, right? All the information will be visible in a single page, isn't it or not?
Yes, sir.
Right,
yeah,
so that is your dashboard, right, where you can see all the information in a single page or a single area, right? In the same way, we can apply the same thing to the our fusion dashboard also, because Oracle has made things very easy and simple in fusion. It is what are the terms we refer, that refers to even in our real times, in our day-to-day life also, right? So the same dashboards what you see in your net banking, you can also refer the same thing in the fusion application as well. And we'll see how the dashboard looks even in the application as well, right? And then coming to the, and also we have to know what are the available dashboards. That is also very important interview question. So guys, make a note on the interview questions, right? That is very important for you, which is very useful to refer everything before attending any any interview. So the first thing, what are the available roles, I mean which are project related roles. And then the second one is what are the available dashboards within the PPM, project portfolio management, right? That is also very important interview question. Next, we'll go to the next role is project administrator, right? So again, the person who is going to act as an administrator and have a control of multiple projects, right? That's what the administrator do. So if we assign this role to any user, he can have an access to all the projects, right? But the project manager, he can able to access the projects where he is acting as a project manager, but not all the projects available in the application, right? But the project administrator, he can able to access all the projects under a business unit. So here we don't refer operating unit anymore. Okay, So operating unit is replaced by business unit. Okay, guys.
Okay, Anna.
Okay.
Okay.
So no more operating unit. When it comes to the fusion, we have to refer that as business unit. Okay. Oh, fine. So whatever the business unit he is under, so he can able to access or view all the projects under that particular business unit. Okay. And next, project creator. So if we have or if a user have this role, he can able to create a project, right? Which is very simple and straightforward. And again, project team member. If you assign this role to the person, then wherever he is acting as a team member, right? So you all know what is a project team member. Like even when you create a project under parties, you used to create, used to assign project manager, team members, right? So the same thing here. So for example, if I am a team member in one project, then I can able to access that particular project on the task details as well, but not all the dashboards, unlike the project manager do. And again, the application implementation administrator, this is very 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 important for us, right? So this will give you access to all the configurations, right? So irrespective of ppm, even you can also access financials, cm, right? You can able to access all the modules configurations. That means when you go to user menu and click on setup and maintenance, you can see all the functional, offerings, right, under setup. So you can able to see all the offerings, and also you can able to access all the functional areas under each offering when if you are having application implementation administrator. Okay. And again, when it comes to the project application administrator, this is mainly talks about our project financial management offering. Okay, but the application implementation administrator that talks about the overall offerings. Okay. And again, project billing specialist, again the even by looking at the name itself, you can tell what this particular role gives you, right? So if someone or if an user is working on the billing side, like creating invoices, creating or else like generating invoices, and like approving them, releasing them, transferring them, right? All these activities, right? If you want to do that, then you should have project billing specialist role. Okay. And again, the another one is enterprise contract administrator. We don't see right away because we need to talk about contracts here, which is again entirely new concept. So when we are going to deal contracts, then we'll see about enterprise contract administrator. Okay, guys, and also we have one more role called, let me add that, IT security manager. This is like the system administrator responsibility in e-business suite. So right, system administrator responsibility, guys,
Yeah, Anna.
Yeah.
We are.
right? So what is the use of system administrator responsibility?
We will give profile
Profile
options.
options.
Not Abhilash. What about the rest? Are you not
Where we can
active?
give profile options and create users,
Mm-hmm.
security among
Good,
users.
good. So we can able to create users, we can add responsibilities, right? We can add profiles. Balaji is saying we can access for application. Okay, fine. So in the same way, even in Fusion also, we are having a role called IT security manager, just like your system administrator. So if you are having this role, then you can able to create user and add roles to the user, right? And also you can create roles. There are so many other activities, but they're not much important for us as of now. But you have to focus on these three areas. We can create user, right? And we can add roles to the user. We can also create roles, and these roles are custom roles, right? So whatever you create, that is a custom, right? And whatever the Oracle has given, that is a standard. Simple and straightforward, right, guys?
Yeah, Aman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can able to create custom roles. And what are the roles we have seen? All these, are standard roles given by the Oracle. Okay. And your job, okay, you don't have access to the application, right? Okay. Does anybody have an access to Fusion applications?
No, Anna.
No, Aman.
Okay, because some guys, they'll buy the access to the application for a couple of months, and they used to do like that. Okay, no problem. But remember these roles; these are very important. And again, about IT security manager and about the dashboards, right? What are the available dashboards within the project financial management? That is very, very, very important, guys. Maybe in future also, I used to ask questions on these areas only. Okay, fine. Next,
Yeah.
we'll move to the next topic, which is assigning data access set to the users. What is this data access set? Why do we need to assign data access set? What is the use of assigning data access set to the users, right? So before going to that, we'll look at the roles. So for example, you are a user and you have an project accountant role. Okay, this will give an access to the costing area or costing page or costing work area. And then within that, when you try to access some data, which data you should get access, because within the application we'll be having multiple business units, and the again data will be under, I mean, for multiple business units. But what is the data you want to access, from which business unit you want to access, or you want to access the data that belongs to all the business units or only to particular business unit? The role part will give you access to that particular area, but if you want to access the content, someone should able to restrict, right? Someone should able, I mean, someone should give access or to the particular data, right? Let's say you are having a TV in your room or house, right? So when you turn on, when you are having a remote, you can able to turn on the TV, but what tells you or which gives you access to all the different channels?
Remote.
Dep- Depending upon your package, right? So here also, which data you want to access, someone should control that one, right? Even in e-business suite, how are you going to control the data, guys? Anybody?
Security.
Sorry.
Secu-
No, it's
System
not
profile
clear.
options and security rules.
Okay, so profile options, right? So using profile options, you are able to control or the access and the visibility of the data, right? So in the same way, if you want to control the data that should be visible to the user, you should assign the data access set, appropriate data access sets, to the particular role against to the user. Let's say I'm having a project accountant, right? So I should assign data access set to this particular role against my user, so that that will decides which business unit's data I need to access, whether US business unit, UK business unit, right? Because when I was uh, learning Fusion, this was my biggest doubt. In e-business suite, we are having, I mean, responsibilities and again profile options, but how are we going to maintain the same thing in Fusion? That was my biggest question, right? So using data access set, you are going to control what data you can able to see under casting area. And again, if you want to access casting area, you should have the appropriate role, which is project accountant role. So the role will give access to that particular room, and the data access set will give the access to the objects within that room, right? Just like TV and the channels. Okay. Now we'll jump into the application. Okay, because
Anna,
we are
in
just
data access set is done in by IT security manager. Anna.
what, Ablash?
Data access set is done by IT security manager. Anna.
Okay, is done by IT security manager.
Eh, Is it right or not? Anna?
It's like, I mean, it's not a IT security manager. It will be done by your administrator.
Okay, Anna.
Okay,
Okay, Anna.
Excuse me, sir.
fine. Let's jump into the application now. We'll see how to create an user, and then how to assign roles, right? And then how to assign data access it to the particular role. Okay, guys. So now
Okay, Anna.
I'm in home page. From home page, either I can go to the navigator, or I can click on home icon and I can access tools. Under tools, I need to go to the security console. So when will I get this security console? If I have IT security manager role, then I can able to get access to this security console work area, right? So if I don't have IT security manager role, then I cannot see this security console work area. Remember, okay, guys. So you can able to access this security console from directly from home page, or you can go to the navigator and you can scroll down. You can go to the tools, and again you can find the security console over here as well. So in Fusion, don't get confused. You can access the same thing in multiple areas. Okay, don't get confused that what is a is this? I mean, uh, this security console is different from this security console. No, both are same. Not only about security console work area, even when you dive into your projects, cost and whatever it is. So you can able to do the same thing in multiple places. It's just a link given by the Oracle, right? So wherever you can find the link, you can able to access that link. That's it. Arjun, do you have any doubt?
Yes, sir. Can we change the responsibilities uh, if we want to give any extra responsibility to the user, so we can give it afterwards and we restrict previously?
We don't have any responsibilities in Fusion.
I mean to say the role, sir, to a
Hmm.
particular role like project manager or something, project accountant. If you
Hmm.
want to assign any extra capabilities, can we do, sir?
Yes.
Customize the. I mean
So
to say,
you can do the same thing even in a business suite also, right?
yes, sir.
Whenever you want, you can add a responsibility, and whenever you don't want, you can end it that
We
responsibility,
can
right?
we can we can restrict the user.
Yeah. So in the same way, even in Fusion also, we can able to add roles to the user at any time, and also we can able to delete the roles to the user at any time. Guys, are you getting noise from my side?
Yes, sir.
Little bit.
Some drilling activities going on.
Little bit.
Okay. I mean, if it is manageable, that is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is manageable.
Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, so yes, we can add roles to the user at any point of time. And remember, when we are talking about Fusion application, always try to refer the terms which are relevant to the Fusion. So just like, I mean, just now Arjun said responsibilities, right? So try to, familiarize with the Fusion terms. No more
Role.
responsibilities and call them
Role.
as roles. And no more operating unit, call them as business unit. Okay? I mean, slowly you'll get used to that. Don't worry. Let's jump into the application, right? So either you can go to the, you can access the security console from the tools which is under homepage, or you can go to the navigator. So we will call this as navigator, right? So let's go to the security console. So this is your security console page. So as soon as you land here, you can see the roles and then users, right? Forget about all these things. These are not our areas. So roles and users. So from this, you can able to see the existing roles. For example, I'll say project accountant, right? So you can able to see this role here, and we'll talk about the different parts of the roles. What are the privileges, and again what are the security policies, we'll see in detail again when we talk about custom roles, right? How to create custom roles. So in that time we'll see in detail. Don't worry about that now. So you can able to see the roles from here, whether it is a custom role or a standard role. Okay. And again, we have a separate mm, okay, no problem. Let's jump into the users. Okay, I think let me check one thing. Maybe I kept it somewhere else. Okay, no problem. So let's go to the users part, and then you can click on add user account. Okay, so click on this. Okay,
There,
so here, yes or no?
ఒక 10 minutes break ఇవా
Okay, now.
ఏం లేదు ఆ రైస్ పెట్టుకుంటారు మళ్ళా లేట్ అవుతాం కదా మనకు 10 minutes break పెట్టేసి
Okay, now.
10 minutes ఏమని కాదు కదా
Okay, now. Guys, will meet at 11:50. Okay, 11:55.
థ్యాంక్స్ దేవేంద్ర ఏమని కాదు
No,
This
okay.
conference will now be recorded.
Fine. Let's go to the users and click on add user account, where we need to give the first name, last name of an user. Maybe I can take Fusion01. This is my, or else Fusion team. I can say team at gmail.com. This is the user email address, and I want to take the username as fusion01. Okay, and the password. So once you entered all these details, now we have to add the roles to the user. So you can click on add role, and you can search for the roles like project accountant role, select it and add role membership button, and then again I'll have IT security manager as well. And then project administrator, and then project application administrator. Okay, so these are all the roles what I have assigned to this user. And again in the next session we will see how many types of roles are available, and then how to create a custom role. Okay, so once you assign all the roles to the user, click on save and continue, save and close. So from these steps we have created an user and then again assign the roles to the user. The next part is assigning data access to the user and the role. So in order to do that, we need to go to the user menu and then setup and maintenance. So when we are talking about setup and maintenance, going forward, we don't refer user menu, setup and maintenance. We'll directly refer setup and maintenance. So once you are in the setup and maintenance, you can go to the project financial management, and under users and security, you can select all tasks. Under this, we have a task. We have a task called, what is this? Okay. So we have a task called manage data access for users. This is very important for you, which is very important task which you have to remember. Manage data access for users, right? So click on this, and then before giving data access to the users, let's log in with the user and try to access the costing work area, whether we can able to see the existing expenditure item details or not. Okay, then after that we'll try to assign data access set to the user. Fusion01. Okay, so now let's go to the projects, because we are having project accountant. That is the reason you are able to see the cost work area here, and also you are having project administrator, so that's the reason you are able to see the project financial management as well. So this work area is used to create the projects, review the projects, right? And this is used to capture the cost and then review the cost and all the other cost related activities. So let's go to the cost work area. Now where like initially you will be redirected to the overview page. From here you have to go to the task list, so we call this as your task list icon. Remember, work area and then task list, right? So these are all the important terms which you have to remember. So click on the task list which is on your right hand side, and then go to manage project cost. I'm just testing without data access set. Okay, so this is the task, or this is the one which is used to review the cost, just like your inquire expenditure items. Is that correct?
Expenditure status inquiry.
Expenditure.
Yeah.
Expenditure inquiry. Just like that, we are having manage project cost here. Okay, so let's take any one of the project. Doesn't contain. Okay, now let's search for the cost. Did we get anything?
No,
No, no results found. That means with the role, I can able to access the cost work area, and I can able to see all these tasks here. But am I able to see data here? No data, right? So if you want to have access to the data, then yes, of course, you should have data access set assigned to your role.
Role.
So if you go to the project financial management and then users and security, under this manage data access for users. Now we'll try to assign data access set and then check it out again. So my username is again fusion01. My role is project accountant. And coming to the security context, this is very important. For this role, you can able to assign business unit, and also you can able to assign ledger, right? So for this context, the context value is, I can select maybe bank BU. This is my business unit. You know what is business unit, right, guys?
operating unit.
Operating
Business
unit.
unit.
Operating unit.
Yeah. Okay. That means now I can able to access all the cost that is related to the bank BU business unit. Okay. Under the same time, we have one more context, which is ledger. Why we need access to the ledger? If you want to do create accounting part, then you should have access to the ledger as well, right? So that is the reason I'm going to assign ledger here. So if you don't assign ledger here, while running create accounting job or concurrent, I mean, in Fusion, we don't refer them as concurrent programs, we refer them as jobs. If you want to make a note, the differences, please make a note, because going forward, I don't refer with the terms what to refer in e-business suite. But whatever the term which I use, I mean, which is a new one, I used to map it with the e-business suite as well, and then I used to go, refer all the new terms. So whenever I am referring any new term and I am giving a mapping to the e-business suite, make a note on it. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So while running create accounting job, if I want to see the ledger, then we should have access to the ledger as well. If you don't have this data access set, then you cannot run create accounting job, right? So save and close, click on done. If you want to see the changes in Fusion, always better to sign out and sign in again. I'm going to sign in again. Now let's do the same thing. Go to the projects and go to the cost work area and go to the task list. Click on the manage project cost, which is used to review the cost, and then go to advanced, because I don't know the exact project number, so I'm just going with the other probability here. Now let's click on search and see whether you can able to access the data. Can you see the data now, guys?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
and if you filter it out, even you have filters in e-business suite, right? you can like control F11, I mean F11, right? With that, you will enter some text, and again you will you know, do control F11 in order to retrieve the data, right? But here, no need to do such things. We have directly a filter option, just like in other general websites. Even if you go to Amazon, you will be having filter options, right? So in same way, you are having filter options here. Directly, you can able to filter out the data. So let's drag it. So as of now, you can able to see only these columns. But if you want to see more columns, then you have to go to the view, columns, show all. Even you have the same feature in eBusiness Suite as well, right? You'll go to the folders or something which I don't remember exact name.
So,
And sorry.
so field.
Show field, right? So same thing here. We have to go to the view, columns, and then show all, which is very easy. In Fusion, if you want to add a new column, I mean multiple columns, you have to repeat the same thing, you know, multiple times, right? You can add one column at a time, right? But here you can add all the columns or multiple columns at a time. Now let's scroll, right? I want to see the business unit, expenditure business unit. So as I have access to bank view business unit, I can able to see only the cost that is related to this particular business unit. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Good.
Now, if you want multiple business units, means so what we have to create data access.
That's it. If you want to have, I mean, if you want to access the data related to one more business unit, go to the manage data access set for users, add one more record, for the same user and role, and again for the same security, I mean context, which is business unit, and the value is again some other business unit. That means you are going to access the data that belongs to multiple business units or two business units, right?
We can't access all business units with one same time. No?
Sorry.
In EBS, we have invoice security profile. No?
Mm-hmm.
And by using that profile option, we can access all operating units. Like
Okay.
that, here, is there any option like that to access multiple business units?
No, you don't have such options. I think you have to add as many as I mean business units you want in order to access their data.
Okay.
So let me show you. Let me change the offering. So again, you can add Fusion 01, and then project accountant role. Sorry. And your security context is again business unit, and your security context value is, maybe this time I'll go with AG projects. Save and close. Now I want to see all the existing data access for the user, right? So in that case, select users with data access, and then give the username, and then click on search. Now if you see here, for the same role, I have access to two business units, right? So in the same way, if you want to get access to other business units, add one more record with a different context value.
Okay.
Right, guys? Okay. Next, we'll go to the create accounting ones as well. I just want to show you. create accounting. So if you want to see the ledger here in the as a parameter, then you should give the access to the particular ledger as a data access set, right?
Okay.
Then only you can able to see that. Otherwise, you cannot get that. So this is just like a concurrent program, create accounting concurrent program. But here we used to refer them as jobs, no more concurrent programs. Okay, guys. With this, we can stop it here. So we have done till third step, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
From tomorrow onwards, we'll continue with the remaining steps